Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Peace, and divine love. Welcome to Tapped In Talk Radio. I am one of your co-hosts, Osa. We have Tanisha in the house.
Hey everybody.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm interested in the topic. It's that part.
Yeah, that part.
That part.
And we also have our co-host, Champ.
What's up, everybody?
How you feeling?
I'm great.
Great. And we have a special guest today. We have Tatiana. Pieces.
Peace.
How you feeling? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely welcome, Tatiana.
Thank you. I feel amazing. Thank you for asking.
Yes. Today's topic is the age of Aquarius. How y'all feel about that?
Let that shit out.
Let it on out. Just get on into it.
That's how I feel about it.
I feel so excited about it, to be honest. I feel really excited about it. I understand that it's a huge duration of time, so as far as the effects, we won't really see the fruition of it or the total manifestation of it. But I'm excited to know that, humanity as a whole is moving in a new direction, so to speak. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it.
Indeed, it's definitely shifting. I feel like you could just feel it. You could see it. People are questioning things. The age of Aquarius. I know a lot of people don't. I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but there's a lot of people who don't really subscribe to astrology or believe in astrology. But we are known to be in the age of Aquarius. Everything is written in the stars. So there are 12 constellations that create or that coincide with every zodiac. And we are currently in the age of Aquarius. We have been creeping into it for the last I want to say the first time I saw somebody speak on the age of Aquarius or the dawn of the age of Aquarius was in the 1960s. So this has been slowly creeping. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. It has been, taking its time coming in, but I've been noticing a very rapid shift with people just going through the awakening. So when you deal with the age of Aquarius, you can, I guess, compare with the attributes of what an Aquarius is. So Aquarius are known as the humanitarians. They are known as the water bearer. The water being poured out is represent information. So this is known as the age of information. Pretty much saying that everything that you want to know is at your fingertips. Where before you had to, dig deep, go through books and encyclopedias to find out things. Like now you can really just at the touch of a finger, get any information that you want to have. But it's also awakening too, where people are starting to just know. Aquarius representing the I know. So it's just having knowledge and trusting self.
Kind of knowing what you know.
Yeah.
And walking in that and owning that. You know what I mean? Like, just be yourself, know what you know. And, and that's going to be helpful for all of humanity is your individual uniqueness almost,
Yes.
Let me see what the Wikipedia said, because we did have some stuff. So we leave in the age of Pisces, right? And it is a small debate in terms of absolute timelines, because that wasn't dictated specifically in our Gregorian calendar cycles, right? It was dictated in a different way in Hindi, or Hindu as we call it. And so we leave in the age of Pisces. And the sun moves backwards, because last week we was talking about how did it go from Pisces to Aquarius? So it moves in like a retrograde motion, not necessarily, but it progresses in a retrograde motion. So we went from Pisces, and we leave in Pisces, and Pisces is, and we're gonna talk about Pisces too, because we are leaving that, we are transitioning from Pisces. And during this period of this 2,000 years, because they typically last about 2,000 years each age. The Pisces era, you can consider that as ushering with Jesus Christ. So during the age of Pisces is when most religions were established. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they were established under the Pisces age, or in the Pisces age, and Jesus, came on earth during that age as well. It's a time when a lot of structures were created and systems were created in terms of governing the people. This is what Jesus was almost speaking about, or speaking against, or warning of, was the systems that was being created during that time. So those systems have been created, such as patriarchy, the hierarchy, things like that, in which we function under today, specifically religion, patriarchy, faith, religion, all those things, escapism, beliefs, all that was kind of constructed under the age of Pisces. And so now we move into the age of Aquarius, which is kind of an enlightened period. So we went from, we are transitioning from kind of like the whole belief, faith, external, communal religion thing to a more individual, esoteric type knowledge, right? Everybody will be endued spirit, almost like consciously, like, right? It's a conscious thing of enlightening everybody. Is going, vibration is going to be raised. Pretty much because we won't have the obligations that we had under the age of Pisces in terms of developing a world, right? We had to develop the world in which we live in today. Through that was slavery, constructing the buildings, bridges, and just creating these structures here. That was all done in the Piscean age, which was the Iron Age. And so as we come into the Aquarius age, we come into what is going to be considered a golden age, which is why I feel good about it, because it is described as a golden age where we are ascending. Everybody is being enlightened, highlighted, getting comfort with themselves, deconstructing structures such as patriarchy and this whole consumerism, capitalism. All the isms will, going to perish, because those were functions put in place to manage a group, us as a whole, and create civilization as a whole. So now we're going to move into some individual stuff. I wanted to look over the notes and see how long they are. Okay, I might can just read this short amount of. So we're talking Pisces first. I'm not going to get too far in which God represents and what the symbolism is and everything, but we are leaving a period that is the fourth and worst of the four yugas in the yuga cycle, preceded by a different yuga and followed by this yuga, Satya, which is Aquarius. It is believed to be the present age, which is full of conflict and sin. That's how they are describing the age of how Pisces has been. Marked by the end of one yuga and starting Kali Yuga was dated about sometime shortly after 3000 BC. It says when at this point.
And I want to say, when she speak about the yuga, she's speaking about a Hinduism perspective about the times and how they correlate, with astrology as well.
And one of the key things it speaks about, because we are in a transition phase, right? Which means that we are going to experience the extreme end of exiting Pisces, the age of Pisces, which says virtues are at their worst. A cataclysm and a reestablishment of good karma occur to usher in the next cycle, which is our cycle. So at this point, karma is being served. I mean, during this transition period, all things will be balanced, and then we will move forward. So we are going to experience a transition period. So everything you say is bad is going to get worse before it gets better, because otherwise there will be no ushering in of a new, right? The old systems have to collide, collapse, or be destroyed to usher in a new system. And so we will probably experience with whatever that looks like as we transition.
We're actually already experiencing it.
We definitely are.
It's already here.
It's gonna get worse.
This shit has been
towering together
for forever. It's been towering for years now, and the fact that people are just now recognizing it and saying, oh wow, now we're going to be going through something. Nah, nigga, this is Revelations. Right? Like, we
this
literally
is definitely Revelations
living out exactly what everything has been talked about for all of these thousands of years. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, the preparation time is over. You should have been prepping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's right. It's literally right here, right now. And as I'm hearing you speak, I'm hearing you speak about the dismantle of the masculine that has been in the forefront.
Oh, I was going to mention
many,
that
many,
because
many,
we
many
consider to
years.
be moving into a divine feminine energy from a
Yes.
divine and that's not bad, because I don't even want y'all to be like, oh, they're doing it. No, because of the divine masculine period of energy in which we've had, we were able to create those structures, build those bridges, build these buildings, and all of those types of things. It just as a man will build a house, and now we will come into a transitional phase in which women will be able to assist in what has been constructed, right?
It's
So
about balance.
it's about balance.
You know,
right? It's absolutely
the balance
about balance.
of the masculine was ruling for this amount of time, and now the balance is the feminine coming in and not taking over, but working with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because just as
Becoming
women had to assimilate
companion.
some
Hold on,
masculine
pause.
energy.
The women
male-
working with what?
Working with the men.
Elaborate.
Um,
Because I see how this feminist movement is coming. They're taking more independence versus actually working with. So
this is
I
definitely
want to know
this is separate.
how
Okay,
they.
okay.
This
I
is
wanna
separate
see
from the feminine
bridge.
movement.
Okay,
This
so,
is the
so
feminine.
I'm not
I want to see
aware.
the bridge.
I'm not aware of the feminine movement, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna only speak on the type of women that I involve myself with, and the type of women that I involve
Yeah.
myself around. I can't speak about nothing outside of what I know.
And you
And
know
in
what?
my
That's beautiful.
experience,
That's beautiful.
And we have to be careful too, chap, right? Because every instance in which the woman recognizes her power and steps in it and shit is not a threat to our masculinity.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I
And
wasn't.
we don't.
Yeah, I
we're
wasn't
not-
getting to
and
that.
it's not
Yeah.
a badge of the feminist movement when they wear that on their shoulders like that. You know what
No.
I'm saying? So, but I like what she said
Exactly.
because she
hit
said
it right
something
on the
that
money.
she didn't say.
Okay.
She hit it right
As
on the
far
money.
as far as her them being the help to us and what we
Yes.
established, as opposed to trying to take it over and rebuild and reinvent the wheel
No,
and
we're
say
not
that
gonna-
everything
yeah.
No.
everything that the man is creating, like the man's
No.
way is wrong. And
No,
because
I don't know why you heard that.
I didn't
Okay.
say that I heard that from you.
Okay.
What I was about to say is that because that's the consensus of the majority of the feminist movement that he's talking about, and that sounds like y'all tread a thin line,
Yeah.
and when you speak on women coming into power without crossing over into that threshold of the feminist movement. You know what I mean? And it's
No,
crazy
it's
and it's
not
sad.
nice.
It's messed up.
It is
that,
sad.
that we have to be so defensive in
And
regards to
definitive.
speaking on
Yes.
constructive things that
I
we need to do
high five
for
on that.
and with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
said the woman coming into power and it creates a balance.
Yes.
When she said a balance, that was the perfect phrase.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because
It's
I'm-
not the
we're
woman
not looking to
overthrowing
take
the
over.
man.
Nobody.
No.
See, the
But-
thing is we can't take over.
That's,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right.
We cannot. There is no possible way that a woman can take over.
Yeah,
For
that's like
one,
when you build
we
a
are
house and we'll take it
emotional.
over.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like
impossible.
we'll be at war
There's
every
some-
5 seconds.
There's some women
You know
that
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
that they can.
And
though.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think
we're
that.
not talking.
I
we're
know,
not
I
talking
feel-
about
I feel
that.
you, I feel
We
you.
talking about the majority that we would like to see in leadership.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
We're
her.
going
She's
to talk
solution
about.
based. I like
We're
that.
going to talk about the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
we
Fuck the
that we
problems.
want
Yeah.
to be around us.
Talk
You know
about
what
the
I'm saying?
solution.
But you know what? The reason why, and the same reason with women, the reason why they say, but men do this, the reason how I came out with that is because it's like we deal with so much of that. Like we
Yeah.
don't see enough of that type of women. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just had a sister, Osa, you was watching the show yesterday, right? And I told this woman, like, you are the epitome of what every man wants in a wife, like,
Yeah,
as far as
she was.
being there for her man, like, gave this man a kidney. It was being his caregiver until he died. You know what I mean? It's like that type of love don't exist. This type of woman that you speak of is so far
That's
fetched.
unconditional love, where they're so fixated on conditional love,
right?
on
Yeah.
a man's performance versus I got unconditional love.
But
I'm this man.
I don't.
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
because
That's your
that's
experience
a
because I
lack
don't think
of
that.
that's a lack of accountability within self. At
Oh,
any
boy.
time
Woo.
we are
Like,
pushing
we need to
a
get this woman
finger
an award and
Man.
shit. Give your ass a goddamn
Blaming.
plaque.
Man, let me
Suck it, go.
let me get you
Go. Go
Keep my
off.
crown because my shit came corrected already. That's wrong. My shit already straight. You
We
see
see
it?
that. We see
You
that.
see it? You know what I'm
And we see
saying?
the magician
But-
shit we was talking about.
I say,
You
I
got
say.
black
The thing
girl
about it
magic.
Said,
Yes,
"Don't
I
disappear."
told y'all.
She make it appear.
The thing is what I realize is having a man in your life is so important. And in the age of Aquarius and in the age of knowing and in the age of information, we need to know this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised by my father for the majority of my life. and he raised me as a single man, you know, and my father was militant. So, you know, he wasn't for no shit, you know, and he literally told me the truth. He didn't try to make it all cute or none of that. He literally told me straight up, Tatiana, listen, when you get out here in this world, you want to know what? They go buy you whatever it is you want to get some pussy. I was like 8 years old. I'm like, okay, daddy, you know what I'm saying? Like, they go want something. And when I got out here, I was like, oh, okay, daddy, but they'll keep buying it if I don't give them none.
Ain't that some shit?
Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? So it was. I think that I was very blessed to be able to have a man to structure my life, and it wasn't a perfect life because I went through different traumas and dramas, just like everybody else that's in the black community.
But he gave you tools.
But he gave me.
He gave you tools. That's the most important thing ever.
Now, do you think? Let me ask you this: do you feel like he equipped you better for the world than your mother would have if she had it?
Absolutely.
By being by herself?
Absolutely. And I'm saying this as a mother of 5 children that absolutely gave my 3 children to their father to be like, hey, here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need some help. Here you go. You know what I'm saying?
Boy,
he was like,
well,
definitely.
boy,
you know what I'm
All
saying?
facts. All
And he
facts.
done had him. And he done had him for like 5 or 6 years now. You
All
know,
facts.
my oldest daughter is about to be 18 in like 8 days. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I cried the day that he was like, hey, he called me, he was like, Tati, why don't you just give me the babies? And I was like, no. And I hung up and I was like, and I called her back. I was like, you know what? You're right, nigga. Here you go. Because you are their father.
And these are boys.
And
right?
they're not. No, I have
No,
2 girls. I have 2
girl.
girls and a boy. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it. It was like, I knew at that point in my life, I couldn't do anything. My daughter was dragging little bitches in school. She literally was beating bitches up. Like, she didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, look, you know, this is her middle school time. Like, I know that she needs some type of balance. I can't provide. And also, I need help. You're not going to do it how I do it, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because this is your journey. And y'all need this.
Listen, many of the conversations I tell you, like the people around me, we think differently. So like when you have conversations, I try to let you know. Women around me don't think like that.
No.
But I'm showing you, this is what the women around me are like. This is sis.
This shit feels
this
so
friend. Like,
to hear a woman like, and it's like you're not. And we can tell that you're not saying that shit just because it sounds good on paper.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like
it's from experience.
Oh man, nigga, like I've lived so many lifetimes in this one lifetime, and the beginning of age of Aquarius made me do shadow work like no other. And I'm talking about I was in the pits of hell. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, if there is a God, my nigga, come pick me up. Because I'll rather do anything else but this right here. Anything else. This is too uncomfortable. This is too unreal. Like, literally in my face, like all of this, like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And so, from that, it made me have to stand up in my truth. And that's not
And I
easy.
think that's what we come into right now. It's like everybody have to stand up in their truth, right? It's not about judging the next person or feeling judged. Everybody just have to stand in their truth and understand that your truth is going to help humanity, right? And your truth is needed and necessary, and nobody can be you but you, and you are needed. And that's everybody. I mean, you know, we come into an age where it's like I'm saying, it's everybody has to be accountable for contributing to the whole of a higher vibration, essentially, right? I mean, whatever that means for you, you have to put yourself in a position where you are positively contributing to all environments, all spaces, all people in which you interact. You know, in an effort, in a, what is the word when you put forth effort? Almost conscious way, right? We're talking about consciousness. We're talking about in a conscious way, you have to show up.
Awakening.
Yeah, in an awakened way, you have to show up with that purity of heart, almost for everybody, because we talking about love, and love is this. But the age of Pisces didn't know any love, and I don't mean to be too definitive about that. This is
It was very
because
conditional.
it was about consumerism. It was about capitalism. It was about hierarchy. It was about structure. It was about putting this shit in place because we need these structures in place. We need morality. You know, we are creating something.
But we need,
So
we're moving from
we
a
need
natural.
all of that, though.
Yes, but yet and still we have to consider environment. So we're moving from a natural environment, woods, hunt and gather, all this agricultural, all this kind of stuff, and we moving into structures, democracies, Republicans, whatever, you know, communists. We moving into, you know, our what do we have, a democracy? That's not the only form of government. Governments have been created everywhere in all different ways.
We are a two-part government.
But yeah, I mean, but yet and still they call us
we are originally republics. You say your pledge of allegiance.
United States of a republic.
Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the republic for which I stand.
So,
but
right.
we are bigger. We are way bigger.
Hold
But we use the
But the
democratic
point I'm
philosophy in that.
Okay,
so that's why we have 50%
You said the
sovereign
key word,
states.
the key word philosophy.
Yeah, we way bigger than that.
We moving
Who's
past humanity, and humanity is
Who's
moving
we?
past
humanity, but
Oh, you want to go there? You like going there, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go there then.
We're not going there.
There. Humanity.
Yeah, we can go there.
We are
Humanity
moving
needs
past
all of that
yeah.
as a balance. We need all of that as a balance.
But
So the thing is,
wait, let me just address Champ because I want him to be on our to understand.
On
what
your
we're
side.
gonna be on
No,
our
you
side.
still
to be on our same page. I was going to say to be on our same page. Me and also be having
So
some
you got you a
sidebars.
partner today, champ.
No, I want Champ to have an understanding on, you know, be on the same page because he has a perspective that's not our perspective, and so he might not always know what, you know.
No, I speak on all
so what I'm
perspectives.
so again.
But if you're speaking on women's perspective,
time out.
I have
I'm
to
not
sit
speaking
down.
on women's perspective.
No, I said when we're talking generally. Wait, you're not?
You're not just waiting on it.
I haven't one time. I'm a woman, so I can
know.
only speak on women's perspective. But nevertheless, I'm saying that where we at and where we coming to is
We're
a
gonna record
place.
that clip, champ.
Yes.
Is a place where all that shit don't even matter no more.
What don't matter?
All the structures.
It does matter.
No,
Okay,
time
so now
out.
why are we talking
That's
about them?
Because we're moving from Pisces and we're talking about the age of Pisces and we're moving
So
into
the
age
age,
of Aquarius.
that's what I
Yeah.
want to talk
where
about.
it's going to be linear. Shit not going to be in a triangle no more.
Yeah.
Trickle down economics. Shit
Yeah,
roll
no more
downhill,
hierarchy.
All
Yeah.
that. That's going.
Everything is crashing. Systems are falling.
You're gonna have to stand on your
Okay.
own 2
Yes.
feet. No props.
Okay.
No.
I mean, they gave y'all an example.
No,
they
this
gave
is-
y'all a
this
whole
is-
That
motherfucking
shit is
year
level.
Right,
to
this is
figure
level
out how you
out.
gonna
What you
live
just
without.
said.
Society has leveled
We
out.
had the pyramid structure, right? So we're going to destroy it. So what?
We're not destroying. It's destroying itself.
Okay,
It's crumbling.
correct. So what structure is going to be built next?
A structure, humanity, consciousness, higher
Self-govern.
vibration, self-governance first,
Self-governing,
self-sovereignty
Yes.
first,
Self-sovereignty, right?
self-control, self-awareness. You know,
So
self-perpetualization.
again, we moving out of the age of Pisces, which is the age of belief. Okay, so Pisces symbolizing the fish,
I
which
believe
represents
this. I
Jesus,
believe
right?
that.
It's
No.
the end of what we know is like, I'm gonna go there. The end of the biblical terms, right? Like that was the whole age of religion. Okay, now we're into the age of Pisces. I mean of Aquarius, and I want to quote a scripture for people who want to understand how it's already written in the Bible as well. So in where is it at exactly? Because I want to make sure I say it correctly. All right, I'm gonna come back to it. Well, no, I wasn't done though. But I wasn't done though. I just wanted to. I can't remember the exact scripture, but it was stating how Jesus was telling his disciples, to go down this path and you will meet a man with a water bucket, and you're gonna walk into the next house. And what he was speaking on was walking into the house of Aquarius, which is this new age where you will have that.
How do we know that? Because mostly everything in the Bible is speak in
Okay,
symbolic.
it's Luke 22:10. The exact words is, he replied, as you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters. There's a lot of symbology in the Bible. The Bible is full of it.
It's all symbolic.
Full of it. So,
it's all symbolic.
walking into this age, though, this is the age of knowing. So now we're not believing no more. Now we're knowing. So this is us raising it to our consciousness, or as we've been speaking before, awakening, or
we haven't
ascending.
always been in the age of consciousness.
It has been present.
Absolutely
So let me
not.
It has been present. It's certain people.
A lot of delusion.
No,
Pisces is
absolutely not.
represented by delusion. Illusion. That's
It
all
is definitely
Pisces.
delusion.
This
That's
is
all
this
smoking.
is
Delulu for real.
This is
Okay,
my
and let me-
take on it. This
okay.
is my take. When I had that question, are we in an age of consciousness, right? We are created with a free will to think, right? So we can't look at the small environment that we're in versus the whole entire world.
We are
Okay,
looking
so-
at the
so
whole
then
world.
let me-
Look at the age of Pisces.
Let me do
with
this
the
though real
addiction.
quick, right?
Yeah.
You said that, you know, if we're we have this consciousness. In the age of Pisces, then we had this religious based structures that said think like this, be like this,
Created
do
witches.
like this,
You
or
couldn't
whatever.
even- you couldn't
Obey,
worship.
follow.
And it started telling
couldn't worship.
us towards the
You couldn't
end
tap
of it,
in.
you are a God and you're the creator of your own reality, which pulled us even farther away from the truth of who we are,
Divine, the divine.
because we are made in God's image, which means that we are co-creators. And the moment that we stop co-creating is the moment that we fall off path. So this
We
is why
not
people
gods.
are always like, oh, well, the path isn't linear. If you stay the fuck on the path, it is. But what happens is you fall off because
you
you
gotta
forget
That should've been a bomb.
you're forgetting that you're
Clam
a
up.
co-creator. You know what I'm saying? And you're on this path thinking you can do whatever it is you want to do instead of following that divine guidance. So now you're in the age of knowing. So it's like now you know that you're a fucking co-creator and you have no choice but to follow the guidance. When it's time to sit down, it's time to sit down. When it's time to get up, it's time to get up.
And we all have
What I,
this
was,
connection.
what I was speaking on is the timeline, right? When y'all speaking on religion, right? And how old is religion versus prior to religion, we was in the age of consciousness.
Oh yes, we knew
Prior
we were
to that,
gods
you know what I'm
before.
saying?
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Perhaps.
what my whole point was is when we sitting there saying we have been in the age of consciousness, and I wasn't speaking on religion wise.
We fell
I'm
asleep.
Hold on, I'm talking about
sleep.
the
A
whole
deep sleep.
timeline of our existence.
What? Let me just
To where
say-
we was created with a free will to think. And
Yes.
at that time when we was created with a free will to think, we was at a time of consciousness, right? So we went to a time where, you know, you had these people
And
that
that
created
time of consciousness
religion.
is when the devil was cast from heaven. We want to talk about timelines, right? Because we can go back to the
So the
Anunnaki
devil,
if we
the
want
devil.
to.
When
We
was the
gonna
devil
talk about
created?
timelines?
When was the devil created? When they said Jesus created
I don't
the devil.
know when he was created, but I know.
So how we gonna
during-
speak on him
I
then?
know during the period of Isis, during the age of Aries, is when he was cast from heaven and banished.
So that
to
was
for
his
6,000
creation
years.
then. That was
What
his.
was
They
his
said
creation?
that it was an
He
angel
challenged
that came
God.
down to the right. So
And
we're
he was
talking
banished
about
from
during
heaven.
Jesus' time.
So that we progressed
So prior
to
to
Jesus'
Jesus'
time, where
time-
Jesus came to
So
offer salvation
my
to
whole
man
point
because
is, if
the
we're-
devil had brought the Nephilim down and,
Okay,
and fucked up
I understand
humanity.
all that, but I made the point about a
Okay.
time of consciousness, right? So we're
That
gonna
was
go
the
to the
The
time.
devil was conscious. He was conscious. That was the issue.
he represents.
He
But
represented
the point that
consciousness.
y'all
not,
made that we wasn't in consciousness
The
because
Satanists
religion
think
was
they
was
represent
present.
Consciousness. The
You
Satanists
said we
think they
wasn't
represent
in consciousness when religion was present, right?
Jesus
Devil
and-
came
and
about
freed us,
during
not freed
the
us that,
timeline
yeah.
of religion, right? So we're gonna go post religion of Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism is
before
the oldest
before the
religion.
Bibles were written.
Right, Hinduism is the oldest religion, right? And at that time, that religion, you had the world with consciousness.
And the Hindus is
Correct.
who created this system of ages in which we're speaking about. So
But
that's
you
a
practice
really good
you
point.
practice Christianity, but you don't practice Hinduism.
You can't say that because I'm
I'm saying
familiar
what
with
you
my
telling
Rahu.
me. You
I'm
said you
familiar
a
with my
Christian.
Rahu and my Ketu.
Okay,
I'm good
but
with
you
my,
primarily
my,
practice
my
Christianity.
owns. I'm good with my
But you
owns,
primarily
my
practice
Ganeshes.
Christianity.
I'm good with all that.
But
What
you
mean,
primarily,
know?
because it's two
My
things.
chakras is straight.
Are you
what
woke?
you mean?
Kali Ma.
Are you woke? Are
You want
you
me
woke
to tell
or
the story?
awakening? Are you woke or awakening? Because you're going to give credit.
Both.
Right.
I'm
That's where I'm
woke.
going.
I might be
That's
woke
where I'm
here, I might
going.
be woke
That's
here,
where I'm
but
going.
I might not be
If
woke in another area.
if we can
right?
agree
Like,
on Hinduism was a time of consciousness, right? So
It
why are you
was.
practicing? And then when I mentioned being conscious, you
Because
was like, "No, stop,
Hinduism
Tanisha,
is
stop."
not what patriarchy gave us. Come on, you being hypothetical.
No,
We
you're
talking
not
about
letting
what
me
really
finish.
happened.
You're not
Let's
letting
let
me
them
finish.
it now.
Okay.
Because when I made the point about
And then-
consciousness, you sit there and
and then
said
what?
that was a time of control that was not consciousness. We was all in a structure, right? So no one could
Structure is
exercise.
being created.
Okay, it was
Quote me
created.
correctly.
Okay, it was created.
Okay.
We're at a time where structure was created.
Yes.
People couldn't exercise their consciousness, right?
No, they couldn't. We had higher.
That's what I'm saying, Tanisha.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So I go pre-Christianity and religion when we get into Hinduism, where we had a time of consciousness, right?
But
Correct. This answers the question. Correct.
Because you put everything on Hinduism, but
I'm not putting nothing on Hinduism.
I'm thinking of Yoruba even before I'm thinking of Hinduism.
Was that before Hinduism?
In a timeline, I don't know, because were they in Africa before they was in Hindu? I don't know what was wrote first, but I know for a fact that we originated.
Can't even use that. At that time, all the lands was connected. All the lands was connected, so we all had a unified communication.
They say that people left Africa with the understanding.
We were all doing the same things. We just called it something different.
You know why they left Africa? Because they had a free will thing and a consciousness. So they're going to
avoid. No, because Africa, they had the whole. What is it? The ethos.
There's so many stories.
It's so many. Right. But that's part of the dissolution they want us to have about ourselves.
What we gonna base on? We gonna base on the stories of our elders.
Yes. I mean, but see that. Okay, so wait a minute. Hold on.
And thank y'all for tuning in to all of our viewers.
I don't even see that. My phone not on.
Just our ancestors or our elders, because your elders are different from ours. You have that background that has this is my actual background. We are from Africa.
That just plays a part. That just
you know
plays
what I'm
a
saying?
part.
Like a lot
I
of
do
us
my own
don't,
studying.
because
everything they say don't be correct.
Right, but
everything
it's a lot of us that don't have those connections. A lot of people don't even know who or how to connect to who they were or what they were. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the shit that we've been saying been going on over a lot of motherfuckers' head, they gonna be confused and abused. That's how we do.
They don't even have the desire. They don't even have the desire to want that information.
I'm just talking shit. I don't believe that. I believe that all the people that are here are perceptive of it because you know what I'm saying. This is the frequency that they are coming into of knowing.
Praise
you
God.
know,
Praise God.
But the thing is we keep talking about like what was then or what was. It's like none of that shit don't matter.
Right, and I wanted to get into
the again, we living in it now, so we can just speak on what we seeing, you know, or how it's being implemented, because it is.
Stuff that we speak on is from our ancestry DNA influence.
And that's gonna drop off because we are entering into an age of truth, and I think that's.
Are we in an age of truth,
or just awakening from that sleep that we were under?
Like
no, what Tanisha say?
The Seta Yuga is known as the age of truth, which is the age of Aquarius is known as the age of truth, when humanity is governed by gods and every manifestation or work is close to the purest ideal, and humanity will allow intrinsic goodness to rule supreme. So that's where that's where we going. We in a transition phase from Pisces to Aquarius, which is why I thought it was important to address the issue of Pisces, because we are leaving that. We are leaving that conflict. We are leaving that struggle almost, right? We come into a golden period where we can enjoy the fruits of our labor for the last 2,000 years, because yes, we did have that structure. We did have a structure in Pisces, because Pisces is not a very structured energy. So we had to structure that energy. And through that structure, now we get to enjoy the benefit of that delayed gratification, all that belief, all that faith, all that delayed gratification we done went through. I mean, was it natural? I don't know. Was it? We really constricted ourselves as humans to some unnatural ass shit. I mean, is monogamy natural? Is this natural? Is any of this shit really natural? We had to conform to some type of structure.
Is monogamy natural?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I
don't know anymore. We're going to the age of Aquarius. I'm not sure what the fuck is.
This is why. Hold on. This is why I question. This is why I question it. Right. This is why I'm questioning. Right.
Let me know.
This is why I question it. Right. This is why I question it, because I use my facts.
You think that's gonna work?
It's because the timeline that we're using with astrology is a European timeline.
No. Yes and no.
Yes, we are using the European timeline.
We're not using the Gregorian calendar.
When you sit there and say when the year changes and these calendar dates,
so not necessarily, because it coincides with the Mayan calendar too.
Yes. Hold on.
And that has nothing to do with Europeans. Right? Hold on. The Egyptians, it has nothing.
I'm about to explain.
Okay, because I got offended.
Yeah, because why aren't we using the Ethiopia's calendar?
Well, so it could be 2015.
Right, because the Ethiopian Bible
Yeah,
is pre-King James Version Bible, where they have a better understanding of our timeline.
But it's not based on the Bible. It don't matter when.
No.
They got
What
the
I'm
words
sitting there
from the
saying,
symbols.
is our timeline, our dates, and our calendar is based on the European calendar. Versus, we're not going by our calendar when we talk about astrology. So we go through, we study Ethiopia's astrology and go by their calendar.
So are you disputing that as we enter into the age of Aquarius? Is that the point you make?
I said we can be in the ballpark.
All
We are in the ball. It's 2,000 years.
So this is a prime example of the
So
age of knowing.
who
This is a long time.
Listen,
Who
all
defined the
knowing.
2,000 year? Who defined
Now
the
we know.
2,000 year? Who defined the 2,000 year? What do 2,000 year?
We
When did the
didn't-
first year started
we
that
didn't
we had the
create
2,000 year?
People
I got a
who
question.
studied the
We are all
stars were
Oh,
able
wait,
to
I got a
see
question.
that.
Are you into astrology?
Yes.
Do you know your chart?
I'm not an expert at it.
Have you ever had your chart read to you?
Yes, a couple times.
Was
A
it
few
spot
times.
on?
I question stuff.
Okay.
So some things
And
I would
that's
sit there and
okay.
say it's on,
Yeah.
but then I have to question it. Was it on for him and him? Because this person can listen to it. Like we could just be put a blindfold on the whole subject,
be a
right?
collective
And then
reading.
I sit there and
It can be a
tell
collective
you,
reading.
this is my
If it
read
resonates.
on you. Now,
That's,
if you're not
that's
knowing,
kind of how I
can
feel
label
about reading zodiac signs,
But-
and I can read
Yeah.
Aquarius, and it apply to me.
Right.
without even
But
putting a
can-
label
But
on it.
Aquarius
Can
do
we-
apply
can-
to you
can
because
we-
you are Leo.
Wait, I was
tell you
using
right
that
now.
as an example.
Okay.
As an example.
Can you
Don't
say
take it
that?
literally.
Shit.
We can break all
Can
this
we
down.
all agree?
God.
Can we all agree
Yeah.
that we reflect each other,
Absolutely.
and that
Absolutely.
that the highest parts of ourselves reflect each other, and the lowest parts of ourselves reflect each other?
Absolutely.
So does that make sense that collective
We are
reading
mirrors.
is for everyone?
We're all reflecting our highest
You know what I'm
self.
So
saying?
what makes it the individual reading for that specific zodiac sign?
When parts of it, so like if you'll have some readers that'll say, if it doesn't resonate, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be listening to somebody that's
It
like,
usually matches
oh, you went through these struggles and you're trying to get to here, and it's like, yeah, bitch, everybody went through these struggles and was trying to get to here.
Right.
So that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But then the moment that she be like, yeah, but your grandma was 3 days.
It's a
out
cat on your
with
porch
this
crying
and
right
that.
now. It's like, well,
and when it
damn,
becomes
it's a
very
cat on my porch.
specific, then it is specific to you.
They
You know what
usually
I'm
pull
saying?
out
And
to a
that's
certain
that's
vibration or frequency.
The age of knowing as well. You know when it's about you. You don't have to question it. There is no confusion
how
in your knowing.
How do I decipher when they sit there and say it's about me, but all of a sudden when there's 1% of it, or anywhere from 1% to 20% that could be incorrect, how accurate is it?
So,
you know
well,
the
this is
difference
why we
between your
did the.
ego and your spirit?
Yeah.
I'm so
So
glad
if
you
you,
asked
if
these
you know the
questions.
difference
My
between
ego-
your ego
my
and your
ego-
spirit,
Yes.
then you know how to
A
decipher
hit
these
dog
messages.
will holler.
I mean, it's
But-
basically.
but-
I mean, I want to say common sense. If it don't apply, we just earlier said it.
like
It don't
So-
apply to you.
but
And then
so-
also
so
know that we are more
if
than just
someone-
that
if
that
someone-
zodiac sign.
someone-
And we did a
We're
show
all
on
of them.
birth charts where we saw how
all of
every single sign is within us all.
Yes.
It just shows up differently in us all.
Yeah.
So when you start learning your birth chart, you will really know. Okay, this is my full
That's how I
blueprint.
feel. That's what I'm
Exactly.
thinking.
This is how
That's
No,
I'm
when
my
you sit-
energy
when-
expresses.
If someone's sitting there trying to read me, right, and sit there and tell me they're gonna read me, with me logically thinking, you have to be 100% right, because you can have a
That's
very
so
good. Hold on,
That's
you
so
can
beautiful.
you can read me.
Well, you got
all
your
day.
tools. You
But
got your tools. We gonna read
I'm
right
logically
now.
thinking that you have to be 100% right, because if you partly wrong, you don't know me 100%. For me to take this information,
Well, they not
and
God.
follow
They
it.
not
Okay,
God.
hold
They
on,
not
wait a
saying they
minute.
God.
Hold on, wait a minute. Oh,
Like,
hold on.
We all God.
Wait a minute. I was about to say, wait a minute, Tanisha. Yes,
We all
we are.
God.
We can't just say we got it, then turn around and be like, well, we're not God.
No,
Yes,
we
are.
all God.
The thing about it
24/7.
is when you getting any readings done, it always says that this is either your past, your present, or your future. So it doesn't have to apply to right now.
Right
Anytime
now.
I'm giving
Might
someone
not
a
make
reading,
sense
I'm
right
letting
now.
them know this may not make sense to you right now. That's because in about 3 weeks to 3 months to 90 days, these are things are going to unfold. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was 15 years old, this boy took me on a date. My first date with him, he took me to a palm reading. And the lady read my palm and she said, there's going to be an altercation that happens in 2 weeks. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, an altercation? Like, I don't even talk to people. Like, it ain't gonna be no altercation. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, and you're gonna marry somebody with the initials J and L. And I was like, okay, this lady is cuckoo, whatever. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, there was an altercation. My brother literally went to my boyfriend's house and beat him the fuck up. So the very boy that took me to this date, you know what I'm saying, was so she knew those very specific things, you know what I'm saying? Like, but was she right about everything? No. It has my life unfolded all the way? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you can take certain things and be like, all right, well, this is going to happen or this is not going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen in my life. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you tomorrow a couple of things is going to happen. You're like, yeah, that shit ain't going to happen. But if you really believe it and move out of the way, especially if it's a blessing, it really will happen. But a lot of times when we hear shit about ourselves, then we're too busy trying to over-process what that shit means.
Because this is my thing, right? You gave a wide timeline how this information would affect us, right? So how do I use that information to be successful when I don't know the timeline of this information?
You program yourself.
Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. For me to use that information, like you said, to program myself to protect myself from the ills and to actually help myself for the pros, right? So what tools can a person give another person using their astrology when to use this astrology information that's going to be effective and successful? Whereas, do I know this information? Was it from my past? Is it from my present? Or is it going to be in my future? Like you said, that told me that I'm going to have a conflict.
You go talk to your motherfucking self. Flat out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The power of the tongue, right? So if you get a reading or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And this person gives you these responsibilities. These are now your responsibilities. So now it is up to you to say, you know what? God, when this shit come up, remind me of this moment right here. And we call that shit deja vu. You know what I'm saying? And then you remember and you be like, oh shit, I remember. What am I supposed to do? Visualize. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you know what to do next because the reader already told you this shit. And now it's coming into fruition. And because you told yourself to remind yourself when this motherfucking moment happened, then you have a deja vu moment and you're like, oh yeah.
And I want to say something about that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bring it full circle, right?
Wait, let me interject. Let me have my say and then you can have your question back if that's okay. So
no, it's not okay.
Okay.
I'm just teasing.
Well, don't have it back. We just move on.
I'm teasing. Wow.
God damn.
Now you see what we was talking about. Now you see what we was talking about at the beginning of the show.
That's why I be sitting back in the car, right?
Okay. I just have to put some humor to it.
Me and I just be watching the punches roll.
Yes.
And I'm so glad you have expressed something that so many people feel right now, right? As we leave Pisces, when it's like, I just gotta believe, and we enter Aquarius, where it's I have to know. How do you bridge that gap from believing and knowing? And in terms of your question, it's like, okay, that's where you personally interject your knowing and your connection and your development and what you've done to connect to source and your higher self, almost your best self, your higher self, you know. And then you have to get out of this realm, get to another vibration, so you can know for yourself.
Yes.
Right.
So there's no more middleman.
Ain't no more.
There's no more middleman.
Ain't no more throwing the rope down.
The information is get your own shit. You don't have to trust nobody.
And your chart.
Let me break something down, because we have a conversation right here on the podcast, and it's to inform and teach everybody.
Yes,
right?
like
so
everybody.
when I ask questions, right, it's playing devil advocate.
I understand. That's why I'm glad.
There's definitely people who do
questions that I have
perceptions.
already had questions for myself, but it's to answer it for people that never had those questions or even have those questions right now for all of us to answer it, right? So piggybacking what she just said, that when you get this information from an astrology, right, it goes into mind manifestation, right? So you have to take this information, right, have shadow work, which you spoke on, what we all spoke on before. When you have these shadow works, you look in the mirror and have self-analysis, right? And person is giving this information about your astrology sign. Now you start to process it, right? Now you start to challenge yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with people. You got to take accountability and challenge yourself, right? So when you're doing that, you're getting into your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So when you start programming your subconscious mind with your astrology sign. So when you actually confront the different issues that astrology sign says you are going to confront,
you may not be aware
you're
of it.
automatically going to handle it subconsciously and not consciously. You don't have to rewind. Oh, what
That's
person
that knowing.
said
Okay.
is
That's
when-
that knowing.
Okay, so we're doing ourselves a disservice by only studying our astrology chart.
No, that's one
I know,
part.
I-
That's
right,
one
but
part.
What else should we be studying right now?
Oh, human design, your gene
Man.
keys,
Personality,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but most importantly, without anything else, you should be studying yourself, like literally getting into your body.
So what are the tools?
You know what I'm saying?
What are the tools that the person need to study themselves?
Meditation.
Silence.
Shit. Meditation.
Silence.
And wait, hold on. We can't say silence because we know that we come from a community of people that have PTSD, which means that a lot of us, and we have ADHD and amongst a lot of neurodivergent issues.
Thank you, Jesus,
so we
for us.
cannot sit up here and realistically think that people are going to be able to meditate in a quiet setting. You can't really sit up there and say like, oh, you're gonna have to quiet your mind. You have to teach them how to work with what they have and the new ways that are around them. You know what I'm saying?
These are the tools that people need to learn for self-analysis. You need to identify your beliefs, your healthy beliefs, and your unhealthy beliefs. You have to acknowledge your healthy ego and your unhealthy ego. You have to acknowledge your healthy narcissism and your unhealthy narcissism. You know, because so many times in our culture, we use these words in the negative, and we're not taught how to use these words for the positive. You know what I'm saying? So when you actually learn the definition of the both, and you start applying to yourself, those are the tools that get the wheels turning in your head. So when she speaks on when you meditate,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, so what is those damn things? The bowls, the
Singing
shit?
bowls.
Yeah. The frequencies, listening to certain frequencies.
Yeah.
You know,
And when I say
tap into-
silence, I just mean being quiet. You know, like some
You
people,
being quiet.
you talk. So we talk a lot, and we don't take time to just sit and listen to our mind talk.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where all the information is at.
But you know, some
like
people
you said,
will
you can
learn
use
eat a mushroom.
singing bowls,
They need
mushrooms, definitely.
Dirty Dan Daddy. Come on with it.
Yeah.
Come on with it.
One wine, I got it. Come
Hey,
on.
baby, me
Mushrooms
too.
is
You
a
better
tool.
know. You better know.
Psilocybin is that.
But see, to understand all your emotions and your thinking is a chemical imbalance, right? Or balance. It's an imbalance
It's a
or a
chemical
balance,
reaction.
right? Right, chemical reaction, right? So when he speaks on mushrooms, the mushrooms is going to assist that chemical reaction inside your mind. You know, all different foods, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you what are the benefits of these foods because it has a chemical reaction inside your body. Emotion is a chemical reaction. For people to understand, emotions is a chemical reaction. So you have to look at what you put in your body, what you listen to, what you see, what you smell, everything contributes to your thinking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
we're dealing with chemicals. So if we're dealing with chemicals here, this chemical, in other words, is food. When it enters your body, it's going to change the chemical components inside your body. That's going to cause you to react this way, that way,
Cellular,
this way,
molecular
right,
stuff
exactly.
going on.
So when you understand that, because the cells are in your chemicals in your body. When people understand that, so
Chemicals are in your cells. You said the cells are in your chemicals.
No, the cells is the being of the nucleus. That's what creates the chemicals is the cells. You can't have chemical without cells, but you can have cells without chemicals.
Champ, I think it's really.
But I understand what you're saying. You're calling the cell a chemical.
Wait a minute. Let me just say what I was about to say.
I was talking to Mark.
Okay, you want to keep
I didn't
talking, Mark?
interrupt you. Go ahead, finish. I was done. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what Champ say? Tanisha got something to say about it. I don't care who Champ talking to. Tanisha got something to say about it.
Dismiss me like I was.
No. You know, I always bring you back. Sorry.
I'm very agreeable, but not here.
As Champ got something to say.
Champ, when your birthday?
The opposite of Tanisha. Whatever Tanisha's is, it's the opposite.
That's why y'all over here having a water fight.
Right. That's exactly what it is. And look, the fire just going outside. Like when the fire just, when the water just chaotic.
And the earth over here like, sit y'all ass down.
But I think that's a really, really good point that you are pointing out because exactly what I believe that we are in terms of Age of Aquarius and how this all ties in. It's the fact that we have to show up as individuals at this point. It's no more group activities, right? It's no more team building shit. It's all about you as an individual and what you as an individual contribute to the whole.
That's when the team comes together.
And then we can be a team. Because ain't no more building up another motherfucker.
The evolution starts within.
Ain't no more building up another
The evolution starts within.
You don't know nobody's energy no more. Like,
you
either got it or you don't at this point. Because I've been down through there with people.
I'm going by.
She said, "Nigga, the next motherfucker that pull up, bitch, you better have your shit." So she ain't doing
your
it
own
again.
energy.
We've
been good to y'all.
I'm going
the
by.
empaths of the world been good to the folks that want to be.
It's no time to wrap it up, you guys.
Yeah, you have to do your own work now. And if you don't, you're going to be left behind. We enter AI, technology, all this stuff.
Yes.
We all need each other. There's no way we going to go against the machine and without each other. We got whole machines coming here to take everything we got. So if we don't unite as humans.
And we have to trust ourselves because we already have everything that we need. So this is really just knowing. Really the age of knowing. You got to know that you already know what you know because you know. And that you had that connection to ask those questions and it'll come to you. Yep. We don't need artificial intelligence. It's just really mimicking us.
We don't need
That's all it is mimicking.
We're programming the AI.
We are programming it. They're mimicking us by creating it.
Literally. Okay.
They're studying us and creating that. So to make us still look outside of ourselves for answers when we already got them. So again, we walking in the age of knowing. Welcome.
Hello.
The information is here.
Ignorance is no longer bliss. I use it.
Healing is happening.
I love
the nation is becoming balanced. The women are rising. We are no longer beneath the man like patriarchy wanted us to be. So now we're coming and we're balancing it.
Are the women gonna rise above the man?
No, I never said rise up.
Champ, why
Stop
you
trolling, Champ.
We said we standing on your
Stop
side.
trolling.
Stop it.
I got t-shirts.
Stop trolling.
You being here actually is the window that shows me how much Champ actually baits her.
It definitely puts it off like out there.
I've been telling y'all that.
But see, if you know that, then why do you continue to jump off the cliff?
That's why she got to prove her point even more with him and just shut him up.
Hold on. So with that being said,
he like and another
Nigga,
thing.
listen. Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night. God damn it.
Peace and love.
Peace.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.